entry point. See, my trades, what I'm teaching you to do is you're going to be entering in the market where the market leaves your entry soon. It doesn't spend time around it a lot. And the surest thing you can do in the beginning while you're learning how to trade and reading the tape is notice that when you think, okay, the market should go up or should go down here, if it doesn't immediately start to respond that way, chances are you're probably wrong. Would you have the willingness to kill that trade, eat the commission cost and whatever underneath the spread or any small little drawdown? Would you be willing to take that? Or are you the person that's going to say, even if I'm wrong, I'd still like to be able to get my stop to break even? You're worried about money. You're worried about not losing money. You're worried about being perfect. You're worried about never taking a loss. And that is going to invite the very thing happening. You don't understand that right now. Hearing it sounds like that can't be true. But that's exactly what it is. If you're afraid to make money because you're afraid of losing money, you're never going to make it as a trader. Because every trade that you open up is a losing trade that you have to trade your way out of. You're underneath the commission cost as soon as you put the trade in. Boom, you have whatever that cost is, the spread. You have to overcome that if you're trading in the forex market. Commission costs with your broker. And then it's got to climb up enough to cover those costs. And how much does it need to do that before you can put your stop to break even? And just because it's going to break even, just static price action and redelivery is going to stop you out. You try to chase too fast with a stop loss is too tight. Unless you know things, the things I'm teaching for free. So when you're journaling and you're observing old price moves, or maybe it's something you watch in a live stream, and you see me discussing something, and maybe you're at odds with, okay, he just said he thinks it's going to do this. Okay, maybe everything I'm saying in live streams, you're saying, I don't think that's going to happen. What does that indicate to you? Well, I can tell you what you're really trying to do is you're looking for an opportunity to go on social media and say, look, I guarantee you, there's thousands of people out there. They're all young men, little kids. They're all or service sellers and course sellers. They're out there with their little demo accounts and they're trying to do the opposite so they can go on social media. Look, ICT said this, and look, here's the trade I just took. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. But if you're not doing that for that purpose there, just to get clout online, what are you doing it for? Why do you feel that? Everything I'm saying in a live stream that most of the time is coming true, but why are you doubting it? Is that you being unteachable? No. I had a student of mine that was always trading against me, named Troy. I ain't gonna say his last name, but he knows if he's listening. Everything I taught, he was doing the opposite of. And then he would send me emails, he would complain and say, I don't know why it's not working, I'm pissed off. He used to be a poker player, did real well doing that. And he thought that it would be easy to walk right into trading. And I tried to explain to him, I said, listen, your superpower is that you're contrarian. There's a place for contrarians in trading. That's turtle soup trades, false breakouts, not trend following. So if you go into the marketplace looking for things like that as your opportunity, that's your model, that's your whole structure and approach to attacking price action as a man, because you're a gladiator. You see what I just did there? I maxed out personality, school of thought, the way they internalize things, and the thing that is a weakness, I turned it into a strength. That's a mentor. That's someone that knows what the fuck they're talking about and creates winners. That's someone that has done this many, many times and has failed. And those failures did not hold me down. I learned from them. And you're all out there trying to learn from these 20-year-olds that are just parroting what I'm saying. And they don't have the life experience with it. They have never made serious money. They've never lost serious money. They never went through the problems of finding it. This thing, I'm going to dig in deep. I'm going through a period where everything isn't working and I need to figure out what I'm supposed to do with no other encouragement. Right now, there's social media. You look around, you'll find someone to blow smoke up your ass. You will, you'll find it. But if you're not fixing the root causes, these triggering things that you keep repeating, that you don't identify are problematic issues. I call them character flaws. I have them. I have them. As a teacher, as a mentor, it would be foolish for me to tell you, I don't have any problems. I don't have any issues. Of fucking course I do. I'm human. I'm absolutely human. I wish I would have held on to the trades longer. I wish I would have had more on. I wish I would have cut off more of the trade before it turned around on me. Come on. I got no problem telling you those things. That's the reality of it. But I also know when to dial in when this shit's going to be good. A la Friday the 13th. That seems like it was a pretty fucking lucky day around here, wasn't it? Cookout was amazing. Woo! I can't wait for another one. Invite me again. Yeah, how about that? But you have to go through the process of seeing how you feel when you're watching price action. Do you turn it into a love story? Like, oh man, this is perfect. This is love at first sight. This fair value gap, I saw it. I walked in, there it was. The euro dollar sitting right there in the New York Hill Zone. She was fine. Look at that. Girl, turn around. Let me see what you got in the back. Oh my goodness. I'm in there. Tap. You're in that fair value gap. It's starting to run. You covered the dealing spread. Your stop loss. You're tucking up behind there a little bit behind that fair value gap low. And you're like, man, it's a romance now. It's going to run up there to my TP. I can't stand when people say TP. You know, I hear TP, I think toilet paper. And I guess it's not far stretched because most of these fucking people out there that are trying to teach people how to trade, their fucking trades are trash. They're shit. So TP makes fucking perfect sense. It's a take profit or that's your target. TP. TP. Like you can't say the fucking word TP. That's the equivalent of somebody on the fucking road that can't even flick their little turn signal. It's right there next to your fucking hand, you lazy ass. Just click it. Let everybody know what the hell you're doing. Protect the car you're driving. Protect your personal property. And there are other people's personal property. I'm like a dog. I see a squirrel. What? Squirrel. It's easy for me to come off of. These are all the things I usually delete out of a pre-recorded lecture. But here, you get all the fun carnival atmosphere. But how do you feel when you're watching price action? Are you at odds with the final boss? You're in a video game and it's like, I only got one life left. This is it. I'm on it. And I got to win this one or it's game over. I have to reset. You're putting too much emphasis on the outcome. So you need to observe what you're trying to talk yourself away from that's toxic when you're journaling. Don't record them with the toxicity. What do I mean by that? If you're watching price action, you're not demoing, you're not doing funded account challenges, you're not trading with a funded account, you're not trading with a little bit of money because I got to learn how to real money. We're going to talk about that again. You're just simply watching the tape. You're watching price action fluctuate, and you're trying to get a feel for what makes you feel like the market's going to behave a certain way. And you record that. At what minute marker do you see that happen? And describe what it is. If you don't have the ability to just, shorthand it, in other words, a couple keywords that it's going to help you remember what you were feeling at that time, record yourself audibly. At this minute marker right here, I'm watching pound dollar. At this minute marker right now, I'm watching crude oil. At this minute marker right now, I'm watching S&P. I'm watching NASDAQ. And I see this right now and what I expect to see based on my current understanding. I believe that the market's going to behave this way. It's going to go to this buy side or it's going to go to this sell side. And it should not go below this low or above this high before it does that. That's what I believe. And then at that moment, you say how confident. Describe your confidence in that happening. Even if you don't feel extremely confident about it, just say, I got a hunch that it's probably going to do this, but I'm not all that convinced yet. You need to be aware of that. At the end of that experiment, that study, which I'm going to put you through this week, I'm going to outline how you can go in and do drills over and over and over all day long. All day long, you can do these things. And you're going to see how to find the right fair value gap because you're going to test every single one of them with me. We're going to be out here. You're invited to have a demo account this week because we're all going to be pushing buttons. I want you to see what it feels like, okay? I want you to see what it feels like to be in something that has a measurement applied to it. Does this work? Does this not work? How fast does it fail? How fast does it work? What do you feel when I promote these certain situations? I'm going to say, look at this. We're going to do this right here. We're going to buy this right here. We're going to sell this right here. Listen to me, and I'm going to say it again in the live streams, ad nauseum, okay? Do not use it as a signal service. Do not take your funded account challenge or your funded account or your live account and follow these as entries. I am not telling you to do that. Caleb is watching this. You're all watching this. I'm teaching how you get comfortable with not needing to be right, and how, by contrast, like I was describing yesterday in live stream, when there's fluidity in price action where it just moves around real nice and it creates these imbalances and it reaches sweeping up to buy side and down the sell side, that's a trader's market. That is a market that you can just go in there. You don't need to have a bias. You don't need a bias in it because it's moving around so nicely. You can get 10, 15, 20, 30 handles and be opposed to if I was being held at gunpoint. Hey, ICT, is this going to be an up close day or down close day? Up close day. Okay. You're thinking you only want to be a buyer for the rest of your career in that because ICT said it's going to be up close day. I have proven many, many times that you could be a short seller in a day that I'm primarily bullish in. But see, in the beginning, it's fruitful for you to only focus on the side that a higher time frame bias indicates that it's likely to keep moving in one direction, higher or lower. So if you filter out everything that would be impulsive for you to take a trade on, and it may be going against that higher time bias, it filters out the likelihood, not that all of them would fail, but chances are as a new student trying to do something with money that you can't afford to lose, trying to spend money on funded account challenges that you can't afford to spend yet, not getting the results that you're hoping for, and then that compounds and builds up inside of you. And then you have to wrestle through that like weeds and thorn bushes because the destination you have in front of you of successful trading and consistently profitable, it gets barriers placed in front of it. Thorn bushes, snares, all these booby traps. You're laying that in front because the last time you did this, you got hurt. So you're not getting closer to your objective and your destiny. You're creating barriers because you're doing all the wrong things, not realizing that that's causing an impediment to your progress. Because you think you're going to do something to circumvent the need to go through all the things that are required for you to do it correctly. It's better to do the things I'm telling you to do and avoid the things I tell you to avoid because you won't have to second guess and think about, did I do it the right way? You'll have very little to go back on once you get there and say, you know what, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. Contrast that with, well, I listened to Swaggy. He said, go out there and start with real money because I have to learn with real money. That's foolish knowledge. That's not even knowledge. That's misinformation. If you take something from other influencers, and he ain't the only one that's ever said that, but I take odds at that because when you monetize your right or wrong in the beginning, because you elevate every transaction, every idea on the basis of right or wrong. I'm not promoting the idea that you need to worry about being right and wrong. These jokers that try to say that stuff, they're literally twisting everything I've ever taught. You don't need to be right. It's not about being right. It's about being profitable. But they'll take my words, twist it around, and act like they come up with something. You remove the necessity about being right. If you remove that, that means there's no emotional tie to it. You have no psychological arm wrestling match now to prove to yourself or anyone else that you're right. You don't need to be right. But you won't identify what those triggering things are inside you that are intrusive thoughts that become materialized and manifested into losing money. And you will not, I guarantee you, you will not, if you do those things and you lose money, you're going to fault me. You're going to fault everybody else you followed in the Discord room or that Telegram channel or that YouTube guy or that person live streaming. I lost all my money. Listen to your ass. And they're going to fault find and they're going to push all the responsibility off themselves. I've seen this happen. I've seen it. But the question is what do you do with all the hundreds of thousands of people that are making money with it? They learned the same thing. What are they doing differently? What did you do? And every time I've asked, they always either expose themselves of this, they didn't do the right work. They were not using the things they were taught. Are you teachable? Are you willing to listen? You're here today listening to this. And your mind is the first tool that's responsible for you to make the right steps going forward. And if you allow it to be clouded with fear, anxiety, premature self-worth to high levels of I want to be respected and almost borderline worshipped online, you're doing it wrong. And you need to fix that. You got to do some house cleaning. But when you're journaling, you need to discover what that root catalyst was that caused you the uncertainty about an idea when you were watching price, or what gave you superhuman level confidence. What was those triggering factors? And if it's a negative, you have to say, for instance, let's say like this. Say you're watching a NASDAQ and you're tape reading and you're doing the drills that I'm going to teach you guys this week. And you get into one and you don't really feel confident that it's going to behave like you would like to see it behave, but you still do the exercise and you press the demo and you want to watch how long it takes you to get stopped out or run to the target. But as soon as you press the button, you feel regret. Like I should have waited. What that's going to do is, number one, you're doing it with a demo. But if you feel that, and it may only happen for a second internally, what that's highlighting is, even on a demo where nobody else can see it, you feel the pressure of having it correct. Now you have an opportunity. So many times you're hiding that stuff, the things that you have to sweep up and clean up in your head. All these intrusive thoughts, all these hindering spirits that are keeping you from finding the success you're looking for, you're letting them live with you. You're making the bed for them. You're feeding them constantly, 3 meals in a cot every single day. You're feeding these intrusive thoughts, these demons. They're going to hold you back. You're allowing them to live rent-free in your life, consuming all of your productivity, all of your progress. It's stealing your future success. Like a vampire, it's sucking the life marrow out of you. You don't even realize it. But when you journal, it puts a microscope right over top of that. And you're in that Fortress of Solitude. You're not going to talk about these things with me. You're not going to talk about it with the people online. It's safe. It's safe for you to do this. It's a controlled environment. Nothing bad can happen. It's only upside. It's only upside doing these things. And it makes you better as a person. It will make you better as a trader. And it'll help you wrestle fear of missing out, greed, over trading, over leveraging. All those things are corrected with a journal. And you wonder why these same influencers online have to keep resetting their funded account challenges, and they keep blowing up. They're dancing around, carrying on entertaining you, but they keep blowing up. And you ask them, do you journal? No. Come on, man. And then you're wondering why they're constantly having to publicly reset. They got to constantly keep doing that. And if they just would listen, put their pride aside and just listen, because this is good medicine, folks. This is good medicine. No one successful in trading falls into it by accident. It's an earned skill set. And it will not ever be easy for anyone. Even if you listen to everything I'm telling you to do, which in my opinion is the correct way of doing it. Not because it's mine, because it's rooted in pure psychology.